There always exists a shadow you never see, but some don't just hide in them, they become them. He was once a cybersecurity analyst, but now he exists as a digital ghost. They call him the broker. He has no allies, no loyalties, just information, the purest currency of the underworld, and he holds more of it than anyone alive. Mafia families fear him and depend on him. They trust him more than their own blood and would kill him the second he stops being useful. They choose him because he does what their own hackers can't. He makes lies look real. He lives in the space between power and danger, where one mistake becomes a death sentence. And then it begins. A message. Short, encrypted, urgent. A smuggler's shipment is seized at a border checkpoint. A cartel panics. Someone needs to disappear, not physically, but digitally. A contact tests him with what they call a small favor. Change a manifest, reroute a shipment, erase every footprint connecting them to the crime. And he accepts. Minutes later, the world believes a different truth. Customs officers trust falsified reports. And the broker tastes a dangerous kind of power, the ability to kill reputations without spilling a drop of blood. But when the rush fades, paranoia fills the room because he knows the rule of his new life. If you fail, you don't meet lawyers, you meet men with guns. He tells himself he works for power, not money, but another voice whispers back, "You're already in too deep." Then, another message. Encrypted video. A major European mafia syndicate wants him for a full-scale operation. They need a phantom corporation built from nothing, 3 new identities for top-tier members, a critical shipment rerouted across 3 countries, financial reports rewritten to bury a betrayal. Payment isn't mentioned. It doesn't have to be. This is a job you accept, unless you want to disappear in a way even he can't undo. He agrees. The job begins in complete silence. The broker starts with the financial reports, the most dangerous part of the operation. These systems are fortified, guarded by multiple governments, watched by analysts who never sleep. He works through the night. Every line of data could expose him to a kind of danger no lawyer could save him from, but he keeps going. Failure isn't an option, not with the people who hired him. Next comes the phantom operation. On paper, it must look decades old, real enough for banks, dangerous enough to trick rival mafias. He builds an entire history from nothing. Every detail layered carefully, every record is believable. But then he sees something wrong. Inside a database he's modifying, there's movement, a second presence. The broker freezes. The room, once silent, now feels crowded. Someone else is inside his trail. Across the continent, deep inside a hidden European cyber unit, a digital forensic analyst studies the same corrupted dataset. He spots it, a pattern small enough to miss, subtle enough to dismiss, but not to him. It's a technique he's seen before, something from an old cyber defense method the broker once created. He doesn't know the name, but he knows the mind behind the signature. Brilliant, dangerous, and helping the wrong people. The net tightens. The broker feels the shift instantly. He's being hunted. He moves to his next task, cleaning 3 identities for high-ranking mafia men. One mistake, and they'll come for him. He cracks regional ID registries, alters citizenship logs, fabricates entire life stories. Meanwhile, the forensic analyst draws closer, tracing a digital echo that should have vanished years ago. The broker feels the walls pressing in from both sides. The final task begins. A massive shipment crosses 3 borders at once. No one tells him what's inside. He knows not to ask. He alters everything. But then, everything stops. Someone inserts a code into his system. Someone who thinks like him. The truth hits hard. The syndicate has been watching him the whole time. They don't trust the man who can erase them. They want his system, and once he finishes the job, they plan to erase him. At the same moment, the forensic analyst finally locks onto his trail. 2 predators converge at once, one with guns, one with government firewalls. The broker is trapped. between both worlds, running out of time. The broker always knew this moment would come. The moment when every lie, every stolen identity, every rewritten truth folded into one final decision. Tonight, he begins his counter-operation. Quiet, precise, fatal. His first strike is aimed at the Phantom Company, the same shell the Mafia used to wash their money and hide his entire setup. He corrupts it from the inside out. Then he wipes the cleaned identities he built for their upper tier. Dozens of invisible men collapse out of the system at once. But he's not finished. Not yet. He goes deeper, straight into the Mafia's private communications. Encrypted messages peel open like ribs under a blade. Everything they've ever tried to hide sits exposed beneath his cursor. He copies it all, prepares it all, ready to burn every secret they have. But he still doesn't stop. He plants false intel to mislead the forensic analyst hunting him. The kind of lies crafted so perfectly, they don't look like lies at all. And then comes the most dangerous step of the night. Rewriting the entire shipping databases, carrying the Mafia's weapons, drugs, and illegal tech. He burns every digital bridge behind him, and in doing so, burns his only way back. But the Mafia moves faster than he expected. Their men are already inside the building, boots pounding the stairwell, guns drawn, breathing hard as they close in. At the same time, across the city, the forensic analyst is seconds away from tracing his final real signature. He has to choose now. Run as himself or erase himself from existence entirely. He chooses erasure. His passport is deleted, government records wiped, bank accounts purged, tax files, licenses, biometrics, all gone. Everything that made him a legal person dissolves into a single flicker of light on his monitor. When he presses the final command, he feels something strange. A hollow silence, like the world just forgot he was ever born. He becomes a man without a name. Behind the door, the Mafia bursts into the room, but the broker is already gone. The Mafia loses his trail first. The analyst loses him next. She watches her monitor glitch into static as the last trace of him evaporates from her screen. Everyone is now hunting a man who is no longer real. For the first time, the broker feels a flicker of freedom. No past to chase him, but freedom without identity is its own kind of prison. No name to speak, no safe house tied to him. No future he can legally step into. He has power, more than he's ever held, but without a self, what can he control? He sits alone in a dark safe house, lights off, the air thick with silence. Only a dying laptop glows faintly on the table, the screen blank, waiting for someone who technically no longer exists. His fingers hover above the keyboard, but there is nothing left for him to type. He controlled the world's information until he erased the only file that mattered, himself.